We don't care about people like Morolane, who are already a party that has over 1 million members.
Yeah.
Morolane and his master, Floyd, can live combined. The EFF will still be alive. Shouldn't be worried about elements like Morolane. Personally, I've been in a university space for the last 5 years. I've been in EFF for the past 5 years. We never heard of a guy called Morolane, despite being told that he's the founding president of EFFsc. After his term of office, there's nothing that Morolane has ever done.
Historical mistake.
Yeah.
Request that these comrades who are here must remain stationary. And these ones who are there, you must come this side slowly, in a form of a chain. Slowly, in a form of a chain. Skuma and Radha, and we go to Unisa. Manta, let's move.
Leadership, how are you?
I'm well, I'm very well, thank you.
Morolane Political Incorrect here. There's a calamity in South Africa, man. People are crying, including myself. People are threatening us. There's a possibility that the 11-year-old dream for African people might be dying slowly. But we hang on a belief that it can be, it shouldn't be. 26 July movement should live beyond our age. Are we hanging on a pipe dream? Is this possible? Is this possible that this is just a hurdle that we can pass in the EFF?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's a sad state of affairs that you have the deputy president of the EFF resigning. But also we must mention that the general population, not only members of the EFF, but South Africans, are concerned. They are mainly concerned because of the role that EFF played, as you stated, in the 11 years. And I agree with you that it's a calamity. However, remember, this is politics. And in politics, you'll have a situation whereby critical members of or leaders of a particular political organization resigns. It's not an anomaly. Starting with the EFF. Throughout history, it has been proven that critical leaders or members of organizations have left those organizations. Now, coming to your question as to whether we're going to see EFF collapsing, I think it's an understatement. It's in fact relegating, the current crop of leaders that we have collectively in the organization to a status of an individual. It cannot be. Remember, EFF, in as much as the former deputy president played a critical role, EFF as leaders. I mean, we have the commander-in-chief himself, we have Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, we have leaders who've led the EFF Students Command, and those are the leaders that can take this organization forward so that we can contest the power in the Republic of South Africa. It's a phase that we're going to pass. It's a phase that we're going to pass very quickly.
Well, of course, that didn't happen. Morolane was thinking this thing, as together with the EFF, they will soldier on. They will live through the storm, as he had thought. But as you can see, it didn't happen. Morolane caught, I think his frustration in the EFF got the best of him, and he left the EFF. And why am I calling it a frustration? Because I spoke to the men. And I spoke to the men. The man wasn't happy in the EFF. But as disciplined as he was, he stayed in the EFF. He stayed in his little corner. And he operated. Morolane, and and this is, I'm saying this against the criticism that Morolane has been facing. The criticism, of course, is the fact that people did not know him But the reason I started this with showing you his credentials is because I'm old enough to know Morolane. I'm old enough to know him as a student leader, and of course, as a founding father of NASA. And I spoke to people who went to university with him. I spoke to people who did groundwork with him. He is not perfect. Morolane is not perfect. But Morolane is a typical EFF leader. Morolane personifies EFF with the manner of the thing that he does. And Morolane, those who did not watch the 2 podcasts I did with him, please, at the end, just check it. You'll see who Morolane is. So the reason I want to do this is because people think because they did not know him, it means he didn't have credentials. I think testament to the quality of the man, when he was not in the spotlight, he did not force himself into the spotlight. He didn't. I've answered this before, and of course it could be different with EFF. Those who are members of political parties would know that there's something called a member in good standing. If members were not supposed to be in good standing, someone will just be a member or not a member. And this is why you cannot put a pregnancy approach to this. Because with pregnancy, you are either pregnant or you're not pregnant. But with membership, it can be. You're either a member or a member in good standing or not a member. So it's not as easy as that. And this I'm saying for the criticism that people are saying Morolane was not a member. And why would he? Because if you ask people, members of organizations, once they skip a month or 2 without their membership up to date, does that mean they are no longer members? The answer is no. So I'm saying this for the EFF not to be unfair on the man, because you're no longer seeing eye to eye. You want to throw him in the dustbin. No, it shouldn't work. Mpo is not perfect. Mpo, what Mpo has done is Mpo has made sure that the EFF becomes fashionable where it wasn't. Mpo worked with Bibi Snukwan, Buitumelo, the professor from UNISA, Lebo Pasha, when EFF was formed around 2013, 2014. So this thing is not as easy as people would want you to believe. Running with the EFF at the time, it was not easy. The student command guys, now they come because everything is fleshy. The groundwork has been done. As the pioneers of any industry, how difficult it is to launch a party and to make people love you. The ANC was dominating student politics at the time. So, but anyway, I don't want to bore you. I just want to state this thing clear that I love ANC, EFF, and MK. And I've said it, and I'll keep saying it, that when they fight, all of us are losing. All of us are losing. So this thing of EFF always wanting to attack people who have left, I don't think it's sustainable. And people are saying, but why shouldn't they attack them because they betrayed them? I don't understand how would Mpo leaving EFF been seen as betrayal. I honestly do not understand. And when I say this with the greatest humility, I do not see how that is a betrayal. The man always wanted, for many years, to be given political responsibilities within the EFF. And of course, it became difficult. And by the way, Mpo spoke about how the unity of EFF and its diversity in society centered around issues like, the ANC, because they're leader in society. They are called that because they've got civic organizations, they've got student formations. At every level of society, unions, you find them. But Mpo was not given a chance. Malema spoke about it, and other people spoke about it as well. Morolane was not given a chance. He might pretend he didn't want it, but of using NASA as a formation that protects employees for EFF, because EFF has a labor desk. EFF has a labor desk, but that's a matter for another day when we discuss the labor issues of EFF. Continue watching and tell me what you feel about it. Thank you very much. Morolane Political Incorrect.
And then this one who just recently joined the MKP and now goes against the EFF policies, Morolane. Do you think is one of the people who have betrayed the movement?
You see, my brother, we shouldn't be worried about elements like in Morolane. Personally, I've been in a university space for the last 5 years. I've been in EFF for the past 5 years. We never heard of a guy called Morolane, despite being told that he's the founding president of EFFsc. After his term of office, there's nothing that Morolane has ever done.
Historical mistake.
Yes, we made a mistake with that guy. Besides being obsessed with unions, looting money of our workers and other things. So we can't cry over people like Morolane. His soul had left EFF long time ago. You understand? So these are people that they would say, you see, you know, it's like a person who never joined the EFF trying to say, I'm resigning from the EFF. And we're very happy that SG, Commissar Marshall Dlamini, responded decisively to that clown. Because how do you resign if you are not a member here? The guy left EFF long time ago.
Pays 50 rand in advance.
What kind of madness is that? I mean, like, if he feels like that the other 30 rand was a donation. His membership was for 2 years. It lapsed a long time ago. And he never wanted to renew it. He was nowhere found in campaigns of EFF. Even now, with the recent national elections, we never saw Morolane anywhere on the ground. But these are the same people who want to write us letters and say they are leaving. Why can't they live in silence? So they are opportunistic. That letter was opportunistic. Even the move to MK is an opportunistic move to say that let me try and look for bread, because here in the EFF we don't have bread, unfortunately. So we really don't care about, yes, we're eating ideology. We don't care about people like Morolane, who are already a party that has over 1 million members.
Yeah.
Morolane and his master Floyd can live combined. The EFF will still be alive. That's why even now when they've left, we're still in charge of University of Limpopo, we're in charge in CUT, we're in charge in TUT.
Yeah.
So the history and your participation in that, and then afterwards, because I don't want you to remember lots of questions afterwards, and then I'm going to ask you the gains and losses of this July movement, the EFF.
Yeah. Look, one was a student at the University of South Africa, I think around 2012 or maybe even before then. And one was...
Can I please adjust your mic? Okay. We kiss her too much.
Oh, okay.
Let me, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So one was a student activist, and obviously the pre-July 26 movement. One was a member of the African National Congress Youth League at the University of South Africa. And remember that the then cohort of the Young Lions shaped the Republic of South Africa, in particular when it came to the discussion of expropriation of land without compensation, nationalization of mines, banks, and other strategic sectors of the economy, and advocating for free, quality education, a corrupt-free government. And this was spearheaded correctly by the cohort under the auspices of Julius Sello Malema as its president. Obviously, he was suspended and dismissed by the ANC Youth League, and my view is that there was a state of lie, I think, in the country, even capital to some extent, was celebrating that what they deemed to be a nuisance to them was killed by the leadership of the ANC. I can't recall exactly, but after maybe a year or so, then there was the emergence of the EFF, and one was excited. I remember comrades were telling me, because we were studying in the library, in the study hall, and they said that, did you hear that Julius Malema formed a political party? And they said, we know you are going to join. I remember it was a comrade called Sevupa. He's still there, Junisa, working there. And I was excited, but it took me time, because one has always been a problematic student, championing the needs of workers, wanting things to be done right by SRC student structures and employees of the university. I remember then one was unpopular because there was SRC guys. I remember his name is Konondo, who threatened that he was going to get me expelled in the institution. You know, I'm not sure why was he saying that. What powers did he have to say that he could expel me? But one was not threatened or intimidated whatsoever by such utterances. And there was a comrade of mine called Neo, who actually said that I must come to the EFF. But I was waiting for the correct timing and space, you see, because remember it was unpopular then to be affiliated to the EFF. But when EFF launched in Marikana in 2013, that is the day I joined the July movement. And politics were radical then. It's different to now, and I think at a later point we'll explain why we say circumstances are not the same. And you can't argue otherwise that they radicalized the politics to a point where whiteness was not comfortable with these young people. And yeah, one joined, one became active, one served through the EFF as a member of the branch, as a leader of the branch, the chairperson, and subsequently deployed by the branch of the EFF to the National Student Representative Council of the university. I remember we contested before the formation of the EFF Students Command. So one was in the branch and one was leading in the branch and leading at the National Student Representative Council. By the way, I contested to be the president of the SRC. However, we didn't have the numbers then because we were fairly new, and I got a sports and cultural officer in the National SRC. So that's how, in a nutshell, I got to